What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. My name is Jeremy and this is Jeremy's Wild World. So I hope you guys enjoyed last week's video, which was the virtual tour of my invert room. As you can see here, here's some of the stuff behind the scenes. But yeah, so enough about that. If you guys have missed that video, definitely do check it out. It's a really awesome video. If you guys would be interested in seeing a breakdown of my collection, do let me know down in the comments below. But enough about that. Today we're going to do the very first rehousing of 2024, which is going to be utilizing that enclosure behind me, but it's blurred for a reason. If you want to see the whole setup for this absolutely gorgeous Ephebopus murinus adult female, definitely be sure to stick to the end of today's video. So before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to quickly say that according to my YouTube statistics, a lot of you guys who watch my videos aren't subscribed. So if you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more, click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell down below so you guys don't miss out on future content. Now without further ado, let's start off today's video by showing you the Ephebopus murinus adult female. Alright guys, so starting off today's video, of course I have to show off my absolutely gorgeous Ephebopus murinus adult female. Now as you can see, she is in a temporary tub. This was a bra plus cube, one of my favorite enclosures to use for temporary housing, especially for like larger tarantulas. Now the reason why I temporarily housed her in here is because she came from my good friend Charlie from 8-Legged Emporium. Now he got this girl from a collection and he was worried about her eating and stuff, so I wanted to make sure that I had her in an enclosure where she felt comfortable and I can monitor her weight and everything. But judging by the size of her abdomen, she's been doing absolutely fantastic, and that's why I am now happy to rehouse her into a bigger enclosure, which is going to be the stunning coffin enclosure that I'll be showing off shortly. Now here she is right here. Take a look at her. How gorgeous is this specimen? Now Ephebopus murinus has got to be one of my favorite fossorial tarantulas. For me personally, I quite like the fossorial species. I have a lot, and Ephebopus murinus has been one of the ones I've been after for a while. Now a massive shout out again to 8-Legged Emporium for selling this female to me. Unfortunately, a female that I bought as a female is a male, but nevertheless that could potentially be a breeding project in the future for me. I never really plan on breeding too many tarantulas, but I do want to breed a few species that I particularly enjoy, and that's a lot of fossorials. So, you know, distributing the slings to other sellers and stuff like that. As long as I get to enjoy breeding, that's the main thing. So maybe once this girl is settled in and I find a male for her, an adult one, we can get some breeding with this stunning spider in. But yeah, just check these colors out. Now hopefully when she molts again, these legs will come a little bit more yellow. Now I'm not sure if they discolor as they get older, but nevertheless she's an absolutely beautiful specimen. Really nice sized abdomen. And just before I show off the enclosure, this is what an abdomen of a tarantula should be looking like, guys. You know, not too big, but just below the size of the carapace. You don't want to have a tarantula that's really big, just because they're going to get overweight, they might get stuck in a molt, etc. But this specimen is really healthy, and she was threat posing before I started recording, so that's always fun. But yeah, so that is basically this absolutely gorgeous adult female. Let's show you the enclosure that I'm going to be rehousing her into, and then I'll do it off camera and then show you what I came up with setup wise. Alright guys, so here's the enclosure that I'm going to be housing this absolutely gorgeous Ephebopus murinus female into. Now this is of course a CustomAquaria enclosure. Definitely do check them out if you want all of your enclosure needs. Absolutely fantastic. Shout out to Matthew, dude. I picked this up, if you guys haven't watched it, in the Mildenhall invert show, hashtag Philfest. But I picked up this enclosure for £55 and I cannot wait to rehouse her into this. Now the main reason why I went with the theme, of course, the common name for Ephebopus murinus is the skeleton leg tarantula, and I thought it'd be quite fitting to house a skeleton leg inside a coffin enclosure. Now this is absolutely fantastic, and what I originally was thinking was not rehousing in one of these and going for a tarantula room enclosure, because I've seen the previous models for these, the smaller versions, and I didn't think that'd be appropriate fossorial wise. But when I saw this enclosure at the show, I had to go and get it, because look at the depth. It's quite deep, probably about maybe 8 inches to the top. Obviously I won't be filling all the way to the top. As you see in the back here, there is a ventilation bit, so I'll probably be filling it up to there, so it's still a good amount of substrate. And the plan is for me is I have a nice cork bark round that I'm going to place in the middle and hopefully create some anchor points and some nice display areas. You know, with Ephebopus murinus, you saw her enclosure, they web up everything, but hopefully she won't web too far in the back. I'm going to try and put some plants there and see if they do well in there, like similar to the crab enclosure. So I've got some plants, some spare ones that I'll plant around, and hopefully that'll look nice. I'll put some mosses and stuff and make the enclosure look really nice. Eventually it will get webbed over anyways, but just for now it'll look quite nice. But nevertheless, cannot wait to get this set up. But yeah, again, check out CustomAquaria for all of your glass enclosure needs. I'm definitely going to be picking up some more CustomAquaria enclosures in the future. And yeah, lid comes off quite easily. Absolutely fantastic. Heavy, the tarantula can't get out. But yeah, cannot fault them at all. Cannot wait to get this set up. And yeah, so I'm going to do this off camera, guys. I typically set up my enclosures off camera so I can get into the zone of setting everything up and making it look the way I like to look and not have the pressure of recording. Plus, you guys don't want to see me just putting dirt in and everything. You want to see the finished product, right? So I'm going to do that off camera and we'll cut back in to when it's done. Alright guys, so the enclosure is now complete. I'm going to pan out and show you guys inside. Now you guys are probably going to say, oh, why bother with all this and that? But I'll explain my reasoning in just a little bit. So let's just pan out and have a look inside. So here it is, guys, the complete enclosure. I'm really happy with how this enclosure has turned out. Did come into mind what I was thinking of doing. It turned out a little bit better than I thought it would. So let's just talk about what I have inside. So the substrate mix, as you can see, I didn't go too high up. You can see the ventilation line is still there, so there isn't as much substrate nearby, but that's because there's more substrate going from here all the way to the end. So I decided to use my lovely peat moss and topsoil mix. I didn't mix any sand in this time, simply because I've just run out of sand recently, so I just used what sand I had left to sprinkle over the top, just to give the substrate top layer a little bit more texture. I used the cork tube. As you can see, I slightly buried and dug out to allow her to go straight in. The plan is for rehousing is just allow her to go straight in the burrow, and hopefully what she'll do is web all of this outside and go forward and then leave the back here. So that's why I put the plants here. I've put a couple of vein plants. I've got this red one here which looks absolutely amazing, and this white one over here, and then I've got some moss on the sides just to help with humidity. You can see I've just rehydrated this and it's already plumping up really nicely. I've got a nice mixture of leaves in here. I'm not sure what this kind of leaf is. It just came in a leaf litter mix I bought online, and some crushed oak leaves. Of course, I did talk about my sand, so I got sand sprinkled over the top to give the substrate a little bit of texture. And I've got these clay rocks that I collected a couple of years ago, and I've decided to use today, again, to give more texture. A piece of cork here, if she does decide to go backwards, she can web up this bit, and she can also use these pieces of cork bark here as anchor points as well. Got a little pothos plant, and yeah, so you guys are probably thinking, you know, Ephebopus, you're going to say web everything, probably going to molt everything down. But by chance that she just decides to molt the outside here, hopefully the plants in the back will still look nice, just so I can have a nice enclosure, not just full of web. And she's got plenty of space to do whatever she wants to do. Even if she wants to just go bury on this side, I don't mind what she wants to do. But the plan is hopefully she will stay in this cork bark tube. And yeah, so that is pretty much the enclosure, guys. Let's get her rehoused into here and hopefully she settles in. And then I'll also throw in a clip of a week later or two and see if she settled in quite nicely. Alright, so let's get her rehoused. Alright guys, so now is the final part of today's video. Is going to be rehousing this absolutely gorgeous Ephebopus murinus female tarantula. So what I decided to do off camera was to get her out of her old tub, because for me, I want to minimize the stress of transportation into a new enclosure as little as possible. So what I went ahead is I popped her into one of these Bra Plus tubs so you guys can get a good look at her before we put her in. So what I hope to do, as I said in the last clip, is to put her going down this tube here. So let's see if that goes to plan. She probably will just end up fret posing me and just doing laps around the enclosure, but hopefully with the as you can see, the side panels here, it will stop her from running straight out if she does decide to do a runner, but hopefully not. I mean, so far I've just popped open the lid. As you can see, she is right here. Gorgeous species, one of my favorites, and yeah, hopefully I will be able to breed these at some point. If I don't find a mature male anytime soon, I do have a young juvenile male I can grow up, and hopefully in the next year or so I'll have a mature male Ephebopus murinus tarantula. So now I've got her in the enclosure, I'm just going to use my tongs, and hopefully she'll just wander in. She was pretty calm coming out of her temporary tub, to be fair, so hopefully she won't be too bad. And she's already being a bit stubborn. Come on. Ooh. Yeah, look at that colour, guys, on the legs. You can really see it now. It's absolutely gorgeous. Come on. Got a new enclosure for you. So from what I understand as well, guys, and do correct me if I'm wrong, is that they have their urticating hairs on their pedipalps and their front legs rather than the abdomen, which is quite interesting. So maybe that's why she's a bit spooked at the moment. If I was coming from the front, she would definitely be fret posing me right now. And just a little, oh Jesus, that made me jump. Right, there we go. Absolutely perfect. That is exactly what I wanted her to do. So hopefully now what she'll do is dig underneath the cork. So I didn't put the cork part tube all the way into the bottom, so she'll curve underneath and hopefully make a tunnel around there and just, you know, live happily in here. So I'm going to get a nice panel of this enclosure and her inside, and what hopefully I'll do is update a clip before I release this video of her webbing up, and hopefully it will look a different comparison from at the time of recording this and probably a week or so from now. And yeah, so that is pretty much the end of today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's get into the outro of today's video after this clip of the enclosure. So that is the end of today's video, guys. What do you think? I'm so happy with how this enclosure turned out. As you saw from the final clip of today's video, that she's done exactly what I wanted her to do, which was tunnel up and have a nice big entrance in the middle of the enclosure where the rest of it can look really, really nice. Although she has dug up a couple of the plants, which is to be expected, hence why I put multiple to, you know, make it look nice. I can always add more later on. But I'm really, really happy with how this enclosure has turned out. And if you guys are interested in coffin enclosures and or glass enclosures here in the UK in general, definitely do check out CustomAquaria. I'll be leaving the link to them down in the description below. Tell Matthew I sent you guys over. If you do see them, they trade at the shows. I believe they sell online as well, but definitely do send him an email and or call him to confirm that. So that's the end of today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I really appreciate it if you would click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell down below so you guys don't miss out future content. I also really appreciate if you guys to follow me on Instagram, Jeremy's Wild World _ as well as my Facebook page, Jeremy's Wild World. I'm really active on there, posting pictures and videos of the animals and inverts I keep when I don't upload on YouTube. That's all for me today, guys. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.